commodities, diseases, and slaves traveled across the Atlantic Ocean is known as the Columbian Exchange. Christopher Columbus, founder of the New World, introduced horses, sugar plants, and disease to it, while facilitating the introduction of New World commodities such as sugar, tobacco, and chocolate to the Old World. Colonial mercantilism, which was a set of protectionist policies designed to benefit the colonizing nation, helped develop the system in which colonies sent their raw goods, harvested by enslaved people or native workers, to Europe. European industries then produced and sent finished materials such as textiles, tools, manufactured goods, and clothing back to the colonies. Throughout the trading, the natives were always a problem, but with the introduction of new diseases, the natives fell ill and were not able to defend their land, eventually allowing complete colonization. As Europeans traveled the Atlantic, they brought with them plants, animals, and diseases that changed lives and landscapes in both the New and Old Worlds. Of all the commodities being traded in the Atlantic, sugar proved to be the most important. Sugar in European society during this time period carried the same economic value that oil does today. European rivals raced to create sugar plantations in the Americas and fought wars to control production. Although refined sugar was already available in Europe, the harsher climate made it more difficult to grow sugarcane. Over the next century of colonization, Caribbean islands and most other tropical areas became centers of sugar production, which fueled the demand for African slaves to support the needs of the New World. On his second voyage, Christopher Columbus brought pigs, cows, chickens, and horses to the islands of the Caribbean. Travelers between the Americas, Africa, and Europe also included microbes, invisible life forms that had profoundly devastating consequences. Native peoples had no immunity to Old World diseases to which they had never been exposed to before. European explorers unwittingly brought them chickenpox, measles, mumps, smallpox, and completely wiped out some populations while weakening others. One disease that did travel in the other direction was syphilis, a lethal sexually transmitted disease that came with the travelers from the New World to Europe, causing many deaths. The Columbian Exchange shows both the positive and negative environmental and health results of contact. With the new crops and plantations and the natives dying of disease, the New World needed a new force to meet the labor needs. Europeans enslaved and moved millions of Africans to the New World to plant and harvest sugarcane in the Caribbean. In the West Indies, Spanish settlers developed plantations to grow tobacco and sugarcane. Bartolomé de la Casa, a Spanish priest, suggested replacing natives with enslaved Africans to meet labor needs. Africans were marched to the European fort on the West African coast. Tied together, they were traded, branded, and forced aboard ships bound for the Americas. By the late 1500s, slave labor was a key part of the colonial economy. The demand for labor in the New World plantations and the willingness of many African states to cooperate with European slavers ultimately led to a great increase in slave trade.